Some stories were buried. Some truths were erased. This is Veil. Past midnight, Washington, D.C. feels different. Quieter. Heavier. The kind of silence where every footstep sounds too loud. Office lights switch off one by one. Government buildings turn into dark silhouettes. Power sleeps here. Decisions that shape millions of lives are made here. And tonight, 5 men move through the shadows toward a glass door that isn't supposed to open. They are not protesters, not journalists, not thieves looking for money. They are something stranger. They work for the people in charge. And yet, they're about to commit a crime against their own government. Not for profit, not for survival, but for control. Because sometimes the most dangerous criminals already have badges. America in the early 1970s is nervous. The Vietnam War drags on. Citizens protest in the streets. Trust in politicians is cracking. Every speech sounds rehearsed. Every promise feels empty. And inside the White House, fear spreads faster than facts. Fear of losing power. Fear of losing the next election. Fear of embarrassment. Because elections don't just decide leaders. They decide legacies. And some men will do anything to protect theirs. President Richard Nixon isn't new to enemies. He sees threats everywhere. Reporters, activists, opposition parties, even members of his own staff. He believes someone is always watching, always plotting, always trying to take him down. So he does something that seems small at first. Something temporary. Something necessary. He builds a secret team. Not official. Not documented. Men who operate quietly. Off the books. Their job? Stop leaks. Silence critics. Spy on opponents. Do the dirty work so the president doesn't have to. They call themselves the plumbers because they fix leaks. But they don't use tools. They use break-ins, wiretaps, surveillance, illegal things. The kind of actions governments publicly condemn but secretly rely on. And then someone suggests something reckless. If they could just see what the opposing party was planning, just read their strategy, just listen to their calls, the next election would be easy. Guaranteed. No surprises. Total control. All they need is access. The target becomes a building most Americans have never heard of. An ordinary office complex. Nothing special. Concrete. Glass. Desks. Telephones. But inside, the opposition party's headquarters. The place where campaigns are planned. Where secrets live. The Watergate complex. It doesn't look important. But tonight, it holds information worth more than gold. The 5 men arrive dressed like maintenance workers. Gloves. Tools. Tape. Small radios. Professional. Calm. Like they've done this before. One checks the hallway. Another tapes a door latch so it won't lock. They slip inside quietly. No alarms. No shouts. Just carpet under their feet. They move room to room. Opening drawers. Photographing documents. Installing listening devices. Bugging phones. Not stealing money. Not smashing anything. Just stealing information. Because information is power. And power wins elections. But crime has a strange weakness. It only takes one tiny mistake. One detail. One thing out of place. A security guard doing his routine walk notices something odd. Tape on a door latch. Small. Almost invisible. But wrong. He removes it. Keeps walking. Later, he returns. The tape is back. That's when the feeling hits him. Something isn't right. He calls the police. Just to be safe. Just in case. That simple phone call changes history. Minutes later, plainclothes officers enter the building. Guns drawn. Hearts pounding. They expect maybe a drunk. Maybe a homeless man. Instead, they find 5 well-dressed men in suits. Carrying cameras. Tools. Listening devices. Stacks of $100 bills. And notebooks filled with phone numbers linked to the White House. Not random criminals. Not amateurs. Connected men. Professional men. Government men. Suddenly, this isn't a burglary. It's something much bigger. Something dangerous. Something political. At first, it seems small. Just a weird break-in. Newspapers run tiny stories. Page 6. Nothing dramatic. 5 men arrested in office burglary. Most people don't care. But reporters start asking questions. Simple ones. Why would burglars carry electronic surveillance gear? Why did they have direct phone numbers to government officials? Why were former intelligence agents involved? The story doesn't make sense. And when stories don't make sense, journalists dig deeper. 2 young reporters refuse to let it go. They chase leads, knock on doors, make late-night calls. Every answer creates 2 more questions. Money trails appear. Secret payments. Hidden funds. People lying. People resigning suddenly. Witnesses changing stories. It's like pulling one thread and watching the whole sweater unravel. The deeper they dig, the closer everything points to one place. The White House. The president denies everything. Calmly, confidently. I am not a crook. He says it like a fact, like the truth is obvious. But behind the scenes, panic spreads. Because they know something the public doesn't. There are recordings, tapes, automatic recording systems inside the Oval Office. Every conversation, every order, every secret, captured. If those tapes are released, everything comes out. The lies, the cover-ups, the instructions, proof, real proof, not rumors, not theories, voices, their voices. So they try to hide them, delay, block subpoenas, fire investigators, destroy evidence. Classic mistakes. Because cover-ups are louder than crimes. And every attempt to hide the truth makes it bigger. Suspicion turns into certainty. The public watches on television as hearings unfold. Politicians testifying, advisors sweating. Words like obstruction, abuse of power, illegal surveillance fill the air. Trust collapses in real time. America realizes something chilling. The people meant to protect democracy were secretly breaking it. Eventually, the courts order the tapes released. No more delays. No more excuses. Just play them. Let the country hear. And when they do, there's no dramatic confession. No villain laugh. Just ordinary voices calmly discussing illegal acts. Which somehow feels worse. Because it's casual. Routine. Like corruption had become normal. Like democracy was just another game to rig. Impeachment looms. The president knows the votes aren't there to save him. For the first time in American history, a sitting president prepares to fall. Not from war. Not from assassination. But from his own choices. One night, he goes on television. Face tired. Voice low. And announces he will resign. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Tomorrow morning. Just like that. The most powerful man in the world gone. Because 5 men taped a door latch. And a guard decided to check twice. The break-in didn't just expose criminals. It changed the way people saw power forever. It taught the world something uncomfortable. That corruption doesn't always wear masks. Sometimes it wears suits. Sometimes it gives speeches. Sometimes it sits behind the biggest desk in the country. And sometimes, the real crime isn't the burglary. It's believing you're untouchable. Because nothing is untouchable. Not museums. Not temples. Not governments. Not even presidents. All it takes is one small mistake in the dark. This is veil, where the hidden past resurfaces. And the truth is never as safe as it looks.